Last month, I got the incredible opportunity to go visit a refugee camp. This refugee camp is called the Azraq Refugee Camp. It has been an asylum for refugees for the past 13 years. I'm here to help raise awareness for World Refugee Day, and it was found that there was a lot of disconnect when it came to the people in the West understanding what refugees were. There was a lot of overwhelm. It caused a lot of people to sort of think this is too much for me to take and I can't relate in any sense because my life here is so different to what's happening in the Middle East, for example. Obviously, refugees can be from anywhere that is caused by war-torn situations, or it can also be situations that is being caused by natural disasters. And a lot of people don't seem to be able to connect the aspect of refugees and how hunger is a huge impact for refugees. When you lose your home and your stability and your structure, you lose everything. This is what I'm trying to help raise awareness for. And in my trip, I did a lot of interviews and we asked a lot of questions, and I hope I do Refugee Day some sort of justice and help raise some type of awareness. It was truly one of the most eye-opening trips I've ever been on. So day one was very much office stuff. So we stayed in Amman, just learning about the background of Syrian refugees and how they came to be there, the economy of Jordan as well as Syria. It was just a lot of context to take in. Skipping to the next day, we got up really early in the morning and we were heading out to the camps. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be doing at this point, but I knew I wanted to interview women and I wanted to capture their stories. And one of the main questions I wanted to ask them was, what did you pack and bring with you when you had to flee your home country in Syria? But firstly, I just want to quickly touch base on the lady I did my whole reel around for Instagram. She was incredible. She absolutely took my heart away with how incredible of a human being she was, how giving, how kind she was. Although she had such little to give, she would make all these incredible things. She was just the most creative human being ever, and she kind of reminded me of my mum and my nan, and it broke my heart because when we walked into her house, she actually told us that we remind her of her daughters, and to later find out the devastating story when the first question I asked her was, how many kids do you have and how old are they? And for her to turn around and say she actually lost them both before she left Syria, it is something that you don't think it's gonna be a sad question to ask, but it made me realize that these refugees have actually been through so much and their resilience is just so beautiful and they take so much pride in what they do. The first day, what I did was I interviewed a lovely lady. I won't be saying anyone's name in this just for safety reasons, so I interviewed her. One of the main questions that stands out to me that I asked her was, what did you bring with you when you left? And she literally said, the clothes on my back and my kids. And this woman, she only had herself. Her husband had already fled the country to try to find better jobs to send back money home, so it was just her, a newborn baby. I believe she had a toddler and a 7-year-old, and she had to leave a war-torn country and walk miles trying to find safety. Let that sit with you for a second. It's just stuff that we don't even think about in the West because we are so disconnected from the idea of what a refugee is, including myself. And to be there, to experience that, to learn that, to meet people, it's something else, honestly. And I remember another question that I asked her was, who do you miss the most? And she started tearing up and she said her mum, and it breaks her heart that she's probably never gonna see her mum ever again. This lady, she was beautiful thing. I didn't get to have the longest conversation with her. One of the questions I asked her was, what did you bring? And she said nothing but the clothes on her back and her kids, but the only thing she actually grabbed on the way out was her sister's scarf. And she said the day her sister passed, she knew she had to get out, and she fled with her 3 kids at the time. It was a lot of interviews. It was a lot to take in. The next day, we actually spent a lot of time with kids and youth, which was incredible, just so amazing to see everything that World Vision had put into place, and just all the preschool education system that they had put into place. There's a lot to do with like the environment. The camp itself was actually very sustainable, how it ran with environmental stuff and everything. We met up with loads of preschoolers, and it was their World Environment Day, so they were just doing the most cutest things ever. They were like picking up litter, showing how plants will die if you litter and you need to water them, and how to plant plants, and they were just like the most cutest, most adorable beings. Literally, I love kids. The realness behind it, to know that most of these kids were actually born in this refugee camp, because it's been open for 13 years now, and some of these kids don't even know a world outside it, and will maybe never know a world outside it, you know. And another thing that I absolutely loved was World Vision was installing how to respect women and girls in their youth classes, by teaching them that they have a voice, that they can say no to child marriage, educating them, which I found absolutely amazing. We interviewed some young girls, and they were just so like, it was so nice to see a group of girls that was so confident. I thought that was really beautiful. Day 3, the final day when we were at the refugee camp, we actually experienced so much. There was like a lot of amazing food that I got to try as well. And the 3rd day was actually when I met the amazing woman that makes toys and clothes, and gave me a necklace, her own handmade necklace. She was amazing, truly amazing, truly resilient and so powerful, and it makes you really rethink your life here. I guess that was the last day, and then we had a huge meal, and then we left the camp, and that was that. That was my experience at the refugee camp. And one of the main questions I guess I am asking you guys is, if your home was in danger, what would you bring with you? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I do this story some justice. I'm just trying to do my best out here from what I've learned. Thank you so much for watching.